In our previous video, learned Catholics helped us to understand the primacy sacred theology has over the groundless hypotheses of the profane sciences. An example of groundless hypotheses are the assertions made in the name of the science of cosmology. Let us read what two well-known evolutionists say regarding this science. The first comes from Nobel Prize-winning astrophysicist John Mather. He states, "We have no direct evidence of how galaxies were formed, how the first stars formed without the help of the prior generation of stars, how galaxies evolved, whether they were formed from aggregations of smaller units or from subdivisions of larger ones. Everything happened in the cosmic dark age. It goes right to the heart of the question of how we got here." And further, James Gunn, an astronomer at Princeton University, states, "Cosmology may look like a science, but it isn't a science. A basic tenet of science is that you can do repeatable experiments, and you can't do that in cosmology." The originator of the framework for the Big Bang, Catholic scientist Father Georges Lemaitre, could not agree more with these great minds, that the statements put out by so many cosmologists are assumption-based, and the conclusions then formed from these unscientific assumptions are in fact contrary to divine revelation. Unknown to many is that Father Georges Lemaitre knew perfectly well that his Big Bang hypothesis, or primeval Adam as it was known then, was truly the antithesis of the God-revealed account of creation. The evolutionist Father Georges Lemaitre states, "The hypothesis of the primeval Adam is the antithesis of the supernatural creation of the world." This writing of Father Fenton from 1941 reminds Catholics to reject groundless hypotheses put forth under the name of natural sciences that reject principles of theology, including that of the sacred historical character of divine revelation. Onward to a demonstration of Father Fenton's usage of a crass misinterpretation of a fact with respect to a philosophical assumption under the heading of natural science that undermines sacred history. The gradualist and uniformitarian geologists assume a uniform rate of erosion, for to them, the present is the key to the past. The depth of this canyon at over 120 feet and its extensive length would take many millions of years to form, according to uniformitarian geological interpretation. However, because the canyon was formed in 1926 as the result of engineers diverting water in a canal, we know by actual observation this canyon was formed in about 140 hours. How many would look at formations such as the Grand Canyon and others throughout the world and estimate hundreds of millions of years for such erosion? To use the words of Father Fenton, we can say, with perfect certitude, that a statement denying the fact of creation and put forward under the heading of geology is utterly false. The philosophical assumptions that allow for individuals to continually assess values of millions of years, undermining the sacred history of God's revelation, are simply a crass misinterpretation of a fact. In our next video, we will conclude our examination of the claims of the natural sciences in view of sacred history.